Hi everyone, I'm Priya Rao with the First Weekend Club, sitting here with a fabulously talented young filmmaker. Benjamin, welcome.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you? You had your screening at the Cannes Film Festival today of The Northlander.
Of The Northlander, yes we did, and it went fantastic today, Priya.
That's amazing. I'm so glad to hear it.
Yes, I'm beaming as well.
So tell us about this film. Now, this film is such a unique project in and of its own, but it's also made through the Telefilm micro-budget program. So what was that experience like?
Well, it was the experience of a lifetime, actually.
Yeah.
And the day I found out that my project was selected, I felt like I was where I needed to be in terms of the project that I needed to make. And at that time I was becoming very inspired by a French illustrator named Jean-Gérard Mobius, and he had a different idea of what science fiction was, and it had to do with science fiction not always seen on a spaceship, and that's what inspired my tribal and nomadic visual style, which was a departure from my first short film, Agophobia, which went to 26 film festivals, including Cannes and Sitges and Ubari, many fantastic film festivals. And every time I make a film, I like to approach it differently. I like to turn 180 degrees every time.
Nice. So you just try to mix things up genre-wise and approach-wise?
I do, and especially this time, I kind of feel what others artistically, cinematically are looking for and yearning for to see in terms of fantastic film. And it occurred to me I wanted to show real things happening to real people for real. But when you're working in science fiction, you also have to consider the world that you're building around that as well. And so right from day one, it was all a construction of a universe and a world, and then putting characters inside of it. And it wasn't until we were there in the middle of 1,000 years in the future with a village full of people that we had built and put inside of that I thought, wow, okay, now I'm in the Northlander.
This is happening. And it's so cool because you really have created quite a unique universe and a really unique genre almost. I mean, it's to me, when I watched the trailer, I thought of Mad Max was the first thing, sort of a dystopian future, but it's set in sort of an Aboriginal community set in the future.
Well, the way I like to say and think about it is, as an Aboriginal science fiction fantasy, what it does is it breaks down cultural barriers as a multicultural science fiction as well, which in a way is a fantastical imagining of our cultural mosaic in our country, and also to look at the first people of this land, the Métis director that I am. I would like to see the first people of this land also be the last people of this land as well, and that's the name of the village, Last Ark.
Very cool, and there's a lot of kick-ass action sequences in here. You got a very strong female protagonist. What was it like doing the choreography for this film?
It was incredible. It was incredible to work with people who had many had just came off The Revenant, which was a film that was also shot in
a little film, some of you may have heard of.
In southern Alberta, and so they took very kindly to the style of the grittiness and the rawness that we were looking for, and we were able to translate that through a science fiction theme.
It looks so high budget. The production values are really astounding, but this was made through the Telefilm micro-budget program. So how much what was your rough budget for this film?
Well, when I talk about it, I like to think that it comes down to a priceless quality that the film has by virtue of how much heart and soul was put into it by the entire cast and crew. The cast, they took to Northlander right from the very script, right from when they read the script for the first time. They thought, wow, okay, there's something really special going on here, and so in that regard, it's hard to put a number on it.
Did you have to raise a lot of private financing though to augment what Telefilm was able to provide you with?
Partially, but what I found was the most valuable aspect was that it had Telefilm support and government support, because behind that it's not just a budget, it's a budget that matters. It's a budget that comes from somewhere that is, so to speak, there's a reason and a quality to why that was allocated into a creative project like this.
Absolutely, and that program is now in its 4th year, and it's a very small budget they have to allocate. This year, I think they said they put through 15 films in that budget. So we're not talking about millions of dollars. We're not even talking about $1 million budget, but it's so invaluable because it really does help first-time feature filmmakers get their projects off the ground.
Absolutely, and I find that the the fact that it's a debut feature it's appealing because it allows for new voices to reach forward, and in fact, many of the telefilm micro budgets all exude high quality because they're giving new voices to new filmmakers like myself.
Well, thank you to Telefilm.
Yes, thank you to Telefilm.
And thanks to you, Benjamin.
And thanks to you, First Weekend Club.
You're welcome.